Hello, I hope you're all okay. So it's my first time down at the allotment now for about 5 days. And that's because it's just been absolutely pouring with rain. So the sun's out now, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's still quite windy, it's definitely not warm, but the sun is out. I've just come down here to see how everything's been going because it's just been absolutely pouring with rain. I don't know if it's been like that with any of you. Let me know if it has and it's not just me. But we've just had non-stop rain. We haven't been able to really do anything down here. I've started some seeds in my greenhouse and the stuff I can do, but I haven't actually had a chance to get down here and do anything. So let's have a look and see how everything's doing first of all. That's the first thing I always do when I come down here. Okay, so we'll start in the polytunnel. The tomatoes are all ripening really, really nicely. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to be harvesting a lot of them today. So look, my cucumbers are looking really good. That one can probably be harvested actually. I might take that one off. There's a couple of other smaller ones on this one, but they're looking really good. And yeah, all my tomatoes are now starting to ripen. So I'm going to take any tomatoes that are starting to ripen off. It's just been so cloudy as well. We haven't had hardly any sunshine. So the light inside the polytunnel's been pretty poor, but I'm just going over to my little polytunnel. It's looking really good in here. So again, look, really good sized tomatoes. They're all starting to ripen now. So when I was down here 5 days ago, I took everything off that was starting to ripen and that was going red. So these have all ripened in the last 5 days. So I'm actually really pleased with that. So I've still got 3 of my second earlies here, my British Queens. So I'll take them up today. And then I've just got my main crop left. So my pumpkins are doing really well. This is Snowman, so that one's doing really well. I'm really pleased with that. I'm just having a look now and there doesn't seem to be many more on these plants. I think I just found a tiny little one that was starting somewhere. There's another tiny little one right here. So that is starting to form on that one. Got no pumpkins on my jack-o'-lanterns, but I have got a really big one here. So I think that's Bambino, and then my Turk's Turban's doing really well. This one here, I thought this was a vegetable spaghetti, I think it is, but it's a bit of a funny shape. I don't know if anyone else knows what that is. If they do, please let me know. So all in all, I'm quite happy with the pumpkin arch. I did think there'd be a lot more pumpkins, but I don't know if that's just because of the weather we've been having. I mean, a couple of the plants have got a few pumpkins on them. There's that big one there. I can't see any more this side, but that one down there. But I can't see any more growing up this side yet. I've got an absolutely huge marrow. So, I mean, just look at the size of that. That's my hand there. It's absolutely huge. So I'm going to be harvesting that today. And marigolds that I planted in this bed, in my asparagus bed, they're looking really good. I'm really pleased with them. So I have got all my parsnips are looking brilliant. They are all looking so healthy. I put some kale in there as well. They've been eating a bit. Some of the leaves are okay. That was the parsnip tape I used because I never have much luck with parsnips. So I used parsnip tape and that has actually come up really well. My cabbages are looking good in here. Cabbages and carrots in that one. And I've got cabbages and parsnips in that one. And the only other thing I've got that's looking quite good is my climbing French beans and my runner beans. So I'm going to be harvesting a lot of them today as well. I'm really pleased with how things are going, considering it's just the rain has just been so heavy. So I've got a little job for today. I've got some Pak Choi that I started that I'm going to plant in one of the beds. I'm also going to sow a few seeds directly into the bed. I've got some bush beans and I've got some mooli radish. So I love mooli radish and now's a really good time to sow that. So I'm going to do that directly in one of the beds. I think I'm going to do it in this bed where the beetroot was. There's a few leeks in there. I can just go round them and put them in there. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to harvest first and then I'm going to do my other little seeds that I wanted to sow. Okay, so I've just been digging up the potatoes and there's just so much more fabric still in there. I've just pulled up a tiny little bit, but I think it's going to be a case of we're going to have to actually dig over this whole area because it feels like there's a lot more in there. So before we do anything else with that area, we're going to have to give it a good dig over, I think. So I got 11 potatoes out of that. It's not a great harvest, but it's not terrible. I think half of the problem was the ground it was on, because it was really shaded with this tree, because this tree was coming right the way over and it was just completely shading this area. I think that was one of the main things, but I've still got some main crop there, and I'm also going to be putting some first earlies in the next week or so, and seeing if I can get some potatoes in about 12 weeks time. I've never done it before, so I was really excited to give it a bit of an experiment. Has anyone else ever grown potatoes at this time of year, and have you had any success? I've had mixed reviews, so I thought I've got to try it. I'm going to do some different ways. I'm going to do some in buckets and put them in my polytunnel, my greenhouse. I'm going to actually do some in my raised beds outside, and I might do some in my mini polytunnel because I've got quite a few. So I'm gonna have a bit of an experiment with it and see how it goes. So I got all these tomatoes from inside the big polytunnel, and now I'm going to have a look at the little polytunnel to see what I can get from in there. It's got really cold actually, just in that last sort of like 5 minutes the weather's just turned. Let's see what we got in here. So that's a really good harvest as well. This one's a St. Pierre. It's absolutely huge. So pleased with that. In this bed as well, the kids' bed, they planted some potatoes and they've all died back, so I think I'm just going to see what's in here. Yeah, there are some potatoes in there. Not bad, is it? These were supposed to be main crop ones. My dad gave these to the kids, but they've all died back, but that seems to have grown really nicely. Let's see what else. They're a bit green. They've been on the top where the kids didn't plant them. Yeah, look. They haven't been deep enough. Let's have a look. Let's dig down and see what we got. Oh no, that's another good one. So I think there was one here. Oh yeah, look. That's where. Look how shallow they've planted that. Potatoes are all green. They're green, but let's see. That's green. Let's see if there's any underneath. No. So I've got another little harvest of potatoes here. So all in all, that's not bad. That's not a bad size. That's not a bad size. So not a bad potato harvest. Not great, but not terrible. Okay, so I've got a nice harvest there of runner beans and climbing French beans. Now let's go and get that massive marrow. Guys, look how big that is. Okay, now I've got some courgettes. So I've got one here. That's a really nice sized one. There's two nice sized ones there. Another little one there. I'm just going to leave that one on, I think. And another one there. So I've got two more on there, one more on that one. I've got any on this one. I've got one growing there. And I've got one growing on that one as well. This little one here is the only one that didn't really do anything. But I've been getting courgettes for months now, so I'm quite happy with what I had planted. Okay, so that's it for harvesting. I'm going to get these mooli radish seeds sown, and I'm going to have a look in my seed bags. I just bought a few options and see what else I can dot around the plot just to fill in some gaps here and there. So I'm just going to do 2 lines here. Look, just finding shallots everywhere. So I'm going to do 2 lines this side, and then in a couple of weeks I'll do 2 lines here. Okay, so now I've got this tray of Pak Choi that I started at home, and I think I'm going to plant it in my asparagus bed because the asparagus has all died down now. The strawberries are pretty much finished. They're quite a quick crop, and it's mulched with cocoa coir, and the slugs don't really like it. So I'm thinking it's going to be all right in that bed. So I'm just going to dot it in and around, and hopefully it will do really well. Okay, so the asparagus bed is now pretty much filled with Pak Choi as well. But I think it'll be all right on this. I think the slugs will keep away from it because they don't really come on this bed because of the mulch on top of it. It's quite rough. And I've got enough in there that if I lose a couple, it's not going to be a problem. I am sowing some more this week as well. But I'm happy with what I've done. I've harvested a lot actually. I've got loads of tomatoes. I've got really good harvest of potatoes actually. I've got a marrow, cucumber, a couple of courgettes. I've got a little tiny beetroot, some shallots that I just completely forgot about. So overall it's been a really good day. I've got my mooli radish in, I've got my Pak Choi in. Everything's looking really good. It's going to rain now for the rest of the week. So today's the only day apparently that we've got that we're going to have some sunshine. Hopefully the weatherman's wrong and hopefully we do get some more sunshine. But let me know how you're all doing in your gardens. Thank you so much for watching and I'll speak to you soon.